Okay, I just want to answer the question that have been asked me by some persons, or some of the complaints that I've heard from some persons. And so I just want to use this opportunity to address it. Now, this complaint is coming majorly from the men, and so while I talk to the men, I will still see how to, talk to the women too. And some people have told me that they married early, they married their wives early, and when they married, there was no issue, as in they didn't have problem and all that. They were just living fine, they had their babies, and then after some years in the marriage, their wives no longer respect them. Their wife talk to them anyhow and all of that. And you see, they are not trying to see where exactly this is coming from. I will try to dissect it with the short time that I have here. I'll try to dissect this challenge, because I know that there are many other people who find themselves in this category. First of all, when you marry early, you marry very early, there is every tendency that, one, you've not even discovered yourself. Because if you followed my videos, you would have seen that marriage has to do with, first, you work more on yourself, you discover yourself, you know your strength, your weakness, you know where you are going to, you know what to do before you even talk about the next person into your life. But when you don't even know what you want in life, you will not know what you want from the next person. So when you marry very early, there is a tendency that both of you, or either of you, did not discover yourself. You don't even know what you want, because maybe you married at that point because you just like the idea of marriage, because people are getting married and you want to get married. Maybe all this this youthful exuberant, or this teenage kind of thing, and then you started with friendship and then resulted into marriage, or maybe the lady got pregnant and so you people started the family life without intentionality of knowing what marriage and family is all about. So first, it was all ignorant. I'm sure you people started at the level of ignorant. You didn't know what you want, the wife didn't know what she wants. And so there is a tendency that as you grow in the marriage, if you don't figure the foundation, which is wrong, you will not know how to build, because sometimes you need to pull down a whole building, relay the foundation, then you now erect on that structure. But when you have a gigantic structure like the one I have behind me, and you don't, then the building is shaking. If the foundation is a problem, there is no way you will manage it. You just have to go down to the foundation in order to solve this problem. So you need knowledge. Both of you need to understand what marriage is all about. You see, marriage is not about, we come together, we are having regular sex, and then we give birth to children, we raise our children and send them to school. Because the truth is this, women, pardon me, for a lot of African women, what they see about marriage, the way marriage is defined for them, is that you get married to a man that you love. Sometimes they don't even love the man, let's be very sincere, but they just get married to this man, and then they give birth to children, they raise the children, train them in school, and then those children grow up, give them grandchildren, and as far as they are concerned, they are fulfilled. But you see, but that's not marriage. If that is the concept you have in marriage, definitely you have the problems you are having today, and even much more. And so you need to understand that marriage is two people coming together, not children, adults coming together, who are, first of all, they are joining force and might, joining resources, joining everything together to build themselves. So, like the Holy Book says, one will chase 1,000, two will chase 10,000. So in marriage, if you as an individual have been achieving 1,000 fold, when you get married, with both of you coming together, with your intellectual capacity, with your resources, with your dreams and ambition, with every forces you bring together, two of you should be able to achieve 1,000-fold. As in, you should be able to do times 10, you should be able to do times 100, you should be able to do many more times the effort of one person. Because why? If both of us were fighting enemies, and then we back ourselves, I'm facing here and you back me and you are facing the other direction. If the enemy was coming from this direction, I will attack them. If the enemy was coming from my back, you will attack them. That's how marriage is. But the moment I'm the only one fighting this enemy and I'm facing one direction, I will not see those coming behind me. I'll be so distracted because I can only see one direction at a time. And when you get married and you have a spouse, your spouse is supposed to be the person that sees the other side of things. So while you are seeing it this way, your spouse is seeing it on the other way, and then both of you can now come to alignment and say, okay, can we not do it this way? We'll do it this way in order to achieve this purpose. And so when you begin to grow in marriage, you are growing in age, responsibilities are coming in, experiences are now coming in. There is every tendency that for you to now begin to see life in a different way, for you now to start asking yourself, this person I married, is it the right person? It is not. You will not begin to ask yourself, and this thing, if I knew, I would have waited a little. For me, I don't encourage marriages below 25 years. I don't. Yes, you can go ahead, especially for the ladies. You think, oh, let me just get in married. You know, the African syndrome is you get married, give birth early, raise your children so that at a certain age, your children are already grown. But excuse me, is it about raising the children? What about couples who don't have kids? Because these children are not something you can even manufacture on your own. So what about if it is not about these kids? You have a life to live. Your partner have a life to live. So don't narrow the marriage in all about, oh, let's raise kids. And that's why when children don't come early, you see a lot of families having so many, because their life come to a pause. The things they are supposed to do, they are not building. They are not, like I told one of my friends, 7 years they were married, no kids. While they were looking up to God for children to come in. And so one day after the children came in, we were discussing and he was telling me about the economic issues and here and there and the responsibilities with the children. And I told him, listen, God actually favored you people. For the first 7 years of your marriage, kids didn't come in. If you people have planned your life well, and you were doing something meaningful, your wife was doing something meaningful, in these 7 years, your economy, your financial resources would have been a little bit balanced, so that when these children come, they will not have need to suffer. But everything was put on a hold, just hoping that these children come, and you forget their responsibilities. Now, the reason why women in most cases are the ones that will react, as they grow up in the marriage so negatively, so to say, is because the women, number one, are very outspoken, and so anything they feel, anything they think, anything that they experience, they will say it out. And so because of that, they will always say their grievance, they will say their disappointment, they will say all of these things. That is one of it. Another thing is that the women, like African women, I tell most of them, they think they carry, or they are most concerned with the family issues than the men. Because the men bottles most of these things and they try to figure it in their brain how they can get solution. And sometimes because the women are very expressive and outspoken, and sometimes the man don't seem to be saying something, they just feel like, oh, this man is not bothered, the man is not concerned. And if you are not careful, you can begin to rain insult on the man and you begin to act in different ways. It's not as if the man is not bothered. It's just that your makeup is different from his kind of makeup. And so sometimes the women will overreact and say all kinds of things, thinking that will bring it. No. It doesn't bring the solution. If you marry very early, when you people have not discovered yourself, it is time to first, let's go down to the foundation. Ask yourself, The truth is, you people are married. You are married. You cannot dissolve the marriage, especially when children are involved, just because of these issues. All you need to do is, where is the problem coming from? From your finances or where? Check the gaps and then ask yourself, what do we need to do in order to grow this? And I can tell you of the truth, every issues you have, first solution is knowledge. You go seek for the knowledge. Maybe you're running a business or a career. How is it? Is it a standstill? The truth is this: if you work in paid employment for 10 years and your salary have not increased, it doesn't mean that your expenses will not increase. Especially if children are involved, responsibilities will increase, the school fees will increase, the house rent will increase, transportation, and all of those things. So if your salaries have not increased, definitely you have issues in your income. The question you should ask yourself, what should we do? Sometimes you may not need to put on some sacrifice. You may need to maybe further studies, do some short courses, get some certifications in order to get promotion or get a better job where you'll be more paid. Or maybe you need to go to business training, how you can repackage your business. Or maybe you just need a mentor in certain area that will coach you. If it is finance, address the issue of finance. Don't tell me, oh, I'm old enough, I know what to do. That is what is killing a lot of men, especially the men. You think you know too much. You think, oh, I'm a man, no other man should advise me, no other person should tell me what to do, and yet you are dying. The wife is complaining and you say she's always complaining. There is a problem. That is why somebody is complaining. That problem needs to be addressed. It will be addressed first by seeking the right knowledge that concerns that issue. Some of you would rather go and be praying. We go to the mountain, we go prayer. It doesn't solve the problem. Get the right knowledge on that area or those different areas, and then see what to do to build it. And I tell you, that is one. The second is build friendship. Because sometimes you went into this relationship without even building friendship. How do you build friendship? Spend time together. I know that from the start it will look very strange, but even then, spend time together. Two of you talk together. Whether the communication is bringing argument and all of that, it's okay. The reason those arguments are coming is because you are seeing things in different way, and that's the advantage, that you are seeing it from this other side and she's seeing it from this other side. It's fine. Both of you don't have to always see things in the same way. Otherwise, one aspect of the family will be suffering and this other aspect, and when one side is suffering, the other side seems to be progressing. This side suffering, pull down the other side. And so you people need to talk together. Always spend time together. Every little time you have, spend it together. Help each other to do things. You can wash clothes together. You can cook together in the kitchen. The woman may be the one doing the cooking. The man can be there to say, okay, what can I help you? Okay, let me push the salt clothes. Let me push the oil. Okay, can I just mop this area? Can I take away the water? Can I get you the knife? And all that. The more you spend time in all of this, you watch movies together, you watch the TV together, you listen to the news together, you even share the same books to read. You can pick one person's phone and both of you will be watching the same content on that phone. Gradually you will come to bond, and when you become friends in the marriage, it is easy for you to open up, to be vulnerable to each other, and then you are growing. And then before you know, those issues that have been causing rancor, causing all kinds of, jam love, will just begin to, fizzle out the Because the truth is, the things your wife is not telling you is telling somebody outside. The things your husband is not telling you is telling somebody outside. That's why some women, because women are very expressive, they are always looking for who will listen to them. And so a lot of married women will come to me and tell me something. And when their husband gets to know that, their wives have been talking to me on certain areas, they begin to suspect, is she cheating or what is happening and all of that. The truth of the matter is this. It's because you are not listening. They are looking for where else to go. Somebody who will listen to them. You need to build friendship in your home. you and your spouse. And women, let me tell you this, most times when you give birth, you remove your love completely from your husband to the children, because an average African woman believes that the ultimate achievement in marriage is to have kids. And so you move all your love, your attention from your husband to you. He no longer exists. The man is just there like a pipe to supply money, and that's all. And you don't need him for any other thing. Everything is my children, my child, my son, my daughter, and all of these things. And the man is looking at you and saying, so I don't exist. The only thing they use me for is ATM. I'm just like the money making machine. All I do is to dispense money for them, and then they don't care about me. The only time they need me is when they need money again. No. Before the children comes, even when the children will grow up and then they will all leave, both of you are supposed to be friends. And so you learn how to build this friendship. The children should not take in the place. Build your friendship, bond together, discuss issues. This issue where a mother will want to get something from the husband, and then we have to send the children or one of the child and say, go and talk to your daddy that we need this. It's not supposed to be. If you have that kind of marriage, it means that something is fundamentally wrong. The man should be able to speak and listen to the wife freely. The wife should be able to speak and listen to the husband freely before the children comes in. So you need to go back, look at your marriage properly. Don't look at it like it's my marriage and my wife, or my marriage and my husband. Look at it like another person's marriage. So take your time and scrutinize the issues you people are having. If you can, write them down. These are the issues, and then how do we resolve it? See you next.